Hi, my name is Katey. I'm the Marketing and Outreach Coordinator at the Bourbonnais Public Library, and today I would like to share with you some of my top 2020 reads. Now, these aren't necessarily books that were written this year, but they're all books that I have read this year. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first book I would like to talk to you about today is From Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I just finished this book and I really liked it. It is about Poppy, who her whole life she's known that she's the maiden, which is kind of like a sacred role in her society, but she doesn't know a lot about it. She's kept very closeted and caged away basically in this kingdom, but she's regarded very highly. She has some secret abilities that she can't really tell anyone about, and one of her new guards named Hawk, he's there to protect her, but he also kind of sees her more for who she is and allows her to defend herself. And yeah, so basically she's just trying to figure out what her position really is in the society, what's going to happen to her when she ascends, which her whole life she's been told that she's going to ascend when she gets to a certain age, and she's terrified. She just wants to live her life. So it's a love story, but it's also just a really good fantasy book. It reminded me a lot of Sarah J. Maas and her different series, so I quite enjoyed it, even though, as you can tell, it's pretty thick. Yeah, it is available in our system that you can check it out there, or it's also available on Libby. Just a warning, it is a little bit spicy, and while I did really enjoy this book, the second one is amazing, but also very, very spicy. All right, so my next favorite read of 2020 has to be The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. So this book is about Rin. She is a war orphan in the empire where she lives, and she's taken into a family who doesn't really love her much, but war orphans have to be taken in the society. She works incredibly hard and aces this exam that not many people ace, and she gets to go to the Synagard Military Academy for free. While she's there, she meets a lot of characters. She learns more of the politics going on behind the scenes, and she learns that she has a knack for shamanism, which is something that is kind of a lost art in this world and could be the key to protecting the empire. So I really liked this book. It's not something that I would normally read. Yes, it's a fantasy, but it was just like heavily, you could tell it was influenced by history. And then learning about the author, R.F. Kuang, she based a lot of what happens in this novel off of Chinese history. So there's some actual very brutal, violent things that happen towards the end of this book, I want to warn you. And then it turns out that they are based on things that actually happened. So yeah, beware, but also definitely read it. It's worth a read. The second book, The Dragon Republic, and the third book, The Burning God, are out now as well. You can find this title in ebook and audiobook on Hoopla, and you can find a copy on Libby, as well as checking it out here from the library. Okay, so the next book I'd like to talk to you about is called The Bromance Book Club by Lyssa K. Adams. This is about Gavin, who is a Nashville Legends baseball team player, and his wife, and they're really having a hard time. And after a particularly brutal argument, it looks like they're headed towards separation, and Gavin is absolutely devastated. And one of his teammates invites him to a secret meeting, and at the secret meeting are a lot of influential Nashville gentlemen, and they all get together and they read paperback romance novels and learn what they can from them to help them in their relationships, hence the Bromance Book Club. This book is adorable. I really enjoyed it. I read it in a day. It's kind of light spicy, so it's not too spicy if that's something that you're looking for. But there are also a lot of lovable characters in this world that I believe there's 3 books out now based in the Bromance Book Club series, and I'm excited to read the third one. I read the second one as well and enjoyed it. Something I really liked from this book as well is that it talks about marriage in general, and it talks about what seems to be a really strong relationship that is also struggling, and how someone would go to work towards it and how it takes more than just one person to work on a relationship. So it was adorable. I also like baseball and I love a good romance. You can find this title in our collection. It's also on Access 360 and Libby. So the last book that I want to talk to you today about is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. You may have heard other people talking about this book, but I could not help it. I needed to mention it because it's my favorite read of 2020 and I just finished it. So the first thing that I would like to mention is just look at it. I think this book is beautiful. The cover, there's lots of cute little things on the inside as well. Just stylistically, I love this book. I also love the author, V.E. Schwab. Many of her books have ended up on my favorites lists over the years. So that's the first thing. And the second thing is the story is amazing. So Addie grows up in a small town in France in 1714, and she just wants to see the world. She just wants to explore things, does not want to be tied down. But that's just not how things go in the 1700s. So her family is kind of forcing her into something that she's not at all wanting. And she does the one thing that you're not supposed to do. She prays to the gods after dark. And she makes a deal where she can live a full life and she can have adventures, but unfortunately no one can remember her. So she basically has to start over with every person each time she meets them, and after they leave her, they forget her. So this book goes back and forth between 1700s Addie all the way to present day Addie, and she's just starting over her life each day and having adventures until one day someone says, "I remember you." It's beautifully written. It's kind of heartbreaking in the best way. A lot of books are. I also listened to part of it on audiobook and really liked the narrator. She's been on a couple top lists for her narration of this book. So it is available on Access 360 and Libby. Yeah, please read this and then come talk to me about it. We love giving book recommendations here at the Bourbonnais Library, so you're bound to find someone who can help you find a book in either your genre or a new genre for you. Just give us a call at 815-933-1727 and talk to us about books. Thank you.